Number 17. Consider the equation x squared minus 12x plus 49 equals 22. Which equation has the same solutions as the given equation? So looking at our options, you can see that they have somehow completed the square to get this solution. So what we need to do for this equation is complete the square. And that's going to save us some time because you could sit here and solve each one of these out and then solve this out and see which one's answers match up, which would take a lot of time. Or we can force this equation to look like one of these. So we're going to just force this equation into this format by completing the square. So x squared minus 12x plus 49 equals 22. So if you recall, to complete the square, your first step is to get your constant on the other side. So in this case, we need to subtract 49. We need only the x squared and the x term to be on one side. So that leaves us with x squared minus 12x equals negative 27. Okay? So now the next thing we need to do is we're going to actually have to add something. So the first thing I want to do before I do that is check to make sure this is set up correctly. So is the x squared have a coefficient of 1? Yes, the x squared has a coefficient of 1. Now, we're going to take and add something to both sides. If this had not had a coefficient of 1, I would have had to divide everything by whatever that number is. But since it's ready, it's set up as 1, we're good. So to do this, we are going to take half of the x term. So half of 12 is 6. We are then going to square it. Now, because this is an equation, whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other. So because I added 6 squared on this side, I have to add 6 squared to the right side. So 6 squared is 36. And you're going to notice I wrote this one as 36, but I left this one as 6 squared. That's because that's going to make it easier to factor. Because on this side, I can factor this down into x minus, that's a minus, 6 squared. And that's going to equal, this adds up to 9. Now, if you don't remember that trick, or you've forgotten it, you can sit here and factor this out. X squared minus 12x plus 36, you would then factor this into x times x. Because this is a plus, you look to the front and subtract with both of them. And then do all your factors of 36. So there's quite a few of these. And find the factors that add up to 12. So the factors that are going to add up to 12 here are 6 times 6. And then you could finally write this as x minus 6 squared. So you can do it the long way, or you can use the shortcut. Either way, you're going to end up with the same answer at the end. So x minus 6 squared equals 9. Looking over here, that option that fits is letter A.